Hello everyone, Science here with another video on DISLYTE, and we do have a new character as well as a new event that has just been released, and a lot of news has been added. A lot of new events and fights have been added to this new update. First of all, there's a new character that they just added. A new legendary character that I unfortunately do not have, and unless I pull real soon, probably won't have for a very long time. The new character is called Hypnos or Hilda, and she's like a sleep goddess of some sort, but at the same time has something to do with death. This Esper is mainly a poison-based Esper, so if you don't have the snake one, I'm not really sure how it's called, how she's called, Aoife. She's also on another diamond banner. If you don't have Aoife, you can get Hilda, and it's pretty much a better poison Esper. I've been looking at her kit and I have had opportunity of using her in the fights as well. The rezos seem quite good also. However, I do feel like I need to stress this out. There is a new trial that was just released, a new ritual miracle, and it's called Andras. And you need to have Hilda to be able to clear this on final difficulty. If you can tell, if you go to 16 Purgatory, everybody that cleared it has this new character. Doesn't really matter how much investment they have this new character. It's basically impossible to clear this fight without having her. I don't really know exactly why, but that's just the way it is. Now, in addition to this latest update, we've got 6 new gear sets that have been added with this new ritual miracle. First one gives you 25% chance to assist a character while doing a basic ability. This only applies to the character that has this particular set on it. So if you want all your team to do follow-ups, then just equip this to all of your characters. I don't recommend it, but you could do it. This goes really well with this new set as well, which increases the basic ability plus 15, and consecutive hits also increase it by further 10%. Now, it doesn't really say how much it stacks. It could be indefinite, which means infinite stacks for follow-ups. So if you've got a character that does follow-ups, you're gonna do a ton of damage on follow-ups. Now, this works really well with characters that already have follow-ups, as long as those follow-ups are on the basic ability. If they're not on the basic ability, this will probably not count. Now, the second main set that you have, 4-piece, it says allied damage plus 10% for 2 turns after casting ability free. This works really well when you have a character that is a buffer. You buff your attack, you buff your crit, and because you have this, you can stack plus 10% for 2 turns. It's unstackable, so if you have multiple sets of this on the same team, it's not going to work. You can only use one piece, one set. But it does apply 10% more damage. So if you've got a strong buffer that is also fast without the speed set, because you can no longer use the speed set if you're using this, then by all means use this for more damage. The third one is called Calamity. Calamity says damage against targets with a debuff plus 20%. Now, this is a set specifically made for the new Esper. Now, I don't know if this applies to the character that has the set equipped or to your whole team while your opponent has a debuff. It needs to be tested, but apparently for each additional debuff on the target you get plus 3%, maximum of 15, which makes it a total of 35% more damage when your opponent has a debuff. And since most of the characters do have debuffs, you're probably gonna want to use this as long as you can apply debuffs. If your opponent has a lot of cleansing or immunity, this may not be the best option. Now, for the back sets, we also have two additional ones. First one is going to be this one. It's called Shield Set. It says damage taken minus 12% after taking damage if the attacker is a non-shimmer and not an elemental advantage while attacking. Damage taken is further reduced by 6%. Say for example you're Inferno and you get attacked by who beats Inferno? That would be the purple one. Well, the purple one has an elemental advantage, meaning you will only get the 12% reduction. But if you do get attacked by a wind character or a white one, you will get an additional 6% damage reduction next to the original 12%. Now, this does work really well when you have a character that you really don't want to die, that takes a lot of damage, but at the same time, that doesn't really do a lot of damage. It's a good set for defensive builds. I don't know how it's gonna work in the end, because you probably still want the counter set on most of the characters, but whenever you don't want a counter set, you might want to consider this one. Now, the last one that they added is called Random Equipment Hold Fast. The Hold Fast set says this: increases the allies' base defense by 12% of the wearer's resist. The effect stacks when there are multiple wearers. What does this mean? It means that as long as you have a lot of resist rolls, you can boost a defense scaling character through the roof. Say for example Thor or Donar. Donar deals damage based on defense, so if you put him next to a lot of resist roll characters, he's gonna be doing some really big numbers. Same with Bargon, I think it's called, the 3-star tank. Let me find him.
You think my base is just from...
We're here to do one thing.
You
Yeah.
think my base...
Money or my
And
love?
it's gonna be Inferno. This guy.
Ready to go.
Yeah, this guy also scales with defense, and if you put him next to resistance characters, this guy can also do a lot of damage while taking very little damage, because defense actually reduces all the damage you take. So yeah, that's an interesting set overall. Now, in terms of the new Esper, let's have a look at their kit. And in order to have a look at their kit, we're going to go to the Atlas. Okay. Here's Hilda. Okay, this is Hilda here.
A pleasant dream.
Her leader skill says she gives defense 40% in PvE. Then her ultimate applies
The dead rest.
a lot of poison.
The
Let's read
living
what it
slumber
does
on.
first. Gains deep sleep for 2 turns. What does deep sleep do? Inflicts sleep for 1 turn and poison for 2 turns at the start of any enemy's turn. What does this mean? It means that as long as she has this buff on her, whenever your opponents do
The
a
dead
turn,
rest easy.
they
The
all
living slumber
get
on.
poisoned and sleep. Yeah. And this lasts for 2 turns. So as long as your opponent keeps doing turns, they're gonna continuously get poisoned. Now this is why she's really, really good in the new boss,
The
because
dead
he's
rest
gonna have
easy.
minions. Minions are
living
gonna do a lot of
slumber on.
turns. Opponent keeps getting poisoned, they die. because poison does 4% of the debuffs of the wearer's max HP, and that boss has a lot of HP, so they're gonna take a ton of damage. Now, when you cast her ultimate, it says attacks all enemies, damage plus 50%, or damage 50% attack plus 50% defense. Inflicts defense down and 2 poison effects for 2 turns. Inflicts plus 2 poison effects on the enemy for 2 turns if target's defense is below Hilda's. So you want to build this character with a lot of accuracy, so she can apply the poison as well as defense. Attack is also important because all skills basically do damage based on attack, but for this particular skill you're going to want her to have defense because she's going to be applying more poison if she has higher defense than the opponents. Now the passive for the ultimate says, at the start of combat, each 10% accuracy grants Hilda 10% base defense. Effects inflicted by Hilda won't miss if the target's accuracy is not above hers. Basically, this character was built to be stacked on defense. You want her to have as much accuracy as possible, but at the same time as much defense as possible. Some attack as well, but these two take priority. You normally want accuracy on any character that has debuffs so they can actually apply them, but in this particular case, accuracy turns into base defense, so you want as much accuracy as possible anyway. Now, this does say 10% base defense, not total defense, meaning whenever you go to your stats and you see, let's go back to my espers for a moment. I'm going to go to a maxed esper. Let's go to her. She is level 60. I've got all the dupes because I did all the missions, and you can see my defense has 2 numbers, the purple and the base. What you are gonna get is, based on her accuracy, and I'm talking about the other character now, but I'm showing her as an example, you're going to get 10% of your base defense, which is the black number. Yeah, 10% for the accuracy. I think it goes for each 10 accuracy, so you can get 10 stacks of 10% defense, which is going to basically double your basic defense if you have 100% accuracy. Let me check and see if that's actually accurate. I'll have to read that again. Yeah, each 10% accuracy grants Hilda 10% base defense. So if you have 100% accuracy, you gain 100% base defense. It's not a lot, but it is pretty good because the percentages from the items are calculated based on your base defense. So the more base defense you have, the more defense the items are going to give you in the end, so it's still a win. Now, leveling this skill up gives you a lot of defense to damage conversion. Doesn't say anything about the attack conversion, so again, you don't really need a lot of attack on her, just give her a lot of accuracy and defense. Okay, second skill says attacks all enemies, damage 30% attack plus 40% defense, higher scaling on defense. Again, make sure you give her a lot of defense. Defense damage conversion ratio increased to 45, 50, 60, and less cooldown. So again, a lot of defense scaling, no attack scaling. And again, she's going to apply 2 poison effects on all of the opponents and speed down. So this is a double poisons applying character. First, she's going to apply poison with her ultimate. Then she's going to apply poison with her second skill. And she's also going to keep applying poison whenever she uses the opponent's 2 turns because of her passive. Now, deep sleep is silver. It's not golden. So this buff can actually be dispelled. If you're fighting an opponent that removes buffs, that's unlucky. You can get this to be removed. Now for the first skill, it says attacks one enemy, damage 20 plus 50% defense, all their debuffs plus 1 turn, inflicts sleep for 1 turn. Now the fact that she applies sleep means she's probably gonna be really good for the Sentinel Hunt, the first boss, the rotating orb, because I always use the Night Goddess there. She applies sleep as well, and the boss just keeps snoring, I guess. So this character is actually a really good character for the new event. Now if I want to check her updated skill, let me check the reso first. Go back. Atlas, for gallery. Okay. Now for resos, first reso says final damage plus 10%, is to be expected. Second one says new effect, Dream Interrupted, which I'm guessing it's the ultimate, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, so her ultimate is gaining another thing. Upon successfully inflicting poison on an enemy with Dream, with Dream Interrupted, she further inflicts poison on them for 1 turn. So basically you get 2 poison procs if you have this one. Now I've played with this character in the test version, so you can actually test her out in the new trial, and she never applies 1 or 2 poison. She always applies 4 or more. I can't really explain why, but I'm guessing if you have all the resos, she's gonna be applying even more. Third one says basic stats. Fourth one says 20% chance of ignoring resist when attacking. Well, if you ignore resist, you're going to be guaranteed to apply the debuffs. This one is basic stats again, and the last one, and which is probably the strongest one, says new effect again for the ultimate, gains deep sleep for 1 turn at the start of combat, while under the effects, enemies' sleep won't be removed by damage. I see. So you won't be awakening them from their slumber. That's kind of pretty much what the Night Goddess does as well with her attacks. It's just that her attacks already have it. It's not that interesting, but it does gain deep sleep at the very beginning. So if you start a combat, you already have this, so you're going to first turn apply the poison, which is pretty crazy when you're thinking you're fighting an opponent like this new Ritual Miracle, where you actually need poison to defeat it. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So this is one of the new characters. In addition to this new character, we also got a new 4-star. Now this new 4-star is actually pretty unique, and I am going to test her out, check her out in my actual inventory, because I did get 1 copy of her. Where is she? Where is that girl? I think she's 59, so she should be around. Is she 59?
Anyone in the Union is experiencing unusual...
All right. If I hadn't run away. Oh, never mind.
Okay, so there she is.
Intrigued,
Level 50. Okay, so this is the second new character.
Want to see a little fire?
This is a pretty unique character. I'm going to start with its passive, so you can actually understand why I say it's unique. Andrina's AP lowers by 99% at the start of her teammate's turn. So, whenever your characters do a turn, she loses a turn. However, she performs assist attacks, and these are guaranteed assists, with her basic ability after her teammates cast basic abilities. When red chili stacks reach 2, she performs a pursuit attack on all enemies. So basically, this is the first skill. Attacks one enemy 2 times, damage per hit 10% attack plus 1.2 max HP, gains 1 stack red chili. Red chili gives her 10% attack, 10% crit damage per stack, max 3 stacks. So looking at this, she gains attack and she deals damage based on attack and max HP. You want her to have as much attack, max HP, and crit rate. Why crit rate? Because she's going to have 30% crit damage already from her passive when she maxes it out. Now let's look at her passive once again. Okay, so she performs assists with her basic ability when her teammates cast basic abilities. When red chili stacks reach 2, she performs a pursuit attack on all enemies. So, first turn you attack with a character, they're going to use their ultimate. She's not going to be doing anything but lose her turn. Second turn, another character of yours does a turn, you use another ultimate, and so on. Once you're done using your ultimates and you begin using your basic attacks, whenever you use a basic attack, she's going to do a follow-up. Now, whenever the red chili, whenever she does a follow-up, she gains a chili. The first chili is just going to give her some damage. The second chili makes her do an AoE. The damage for the AoE is 15% attack and 1.5 max HP. Pursuit attack has 80% chance to stun. So if you give her accuracy, she's actually gonna passively stun the entire freaking team. When red chili stacks reach 3, and Adrena removes her red chilies and all debuffs while gaining an extra turn. And because she actually gains an extra turn, she's no longer going to be losing the AP, so she's actually going to do an extra turn. Meaning, in order for you to actually use her ultimate, you either make her the fastest on your team, or you do basic attacks with your team 3 times. Okay, now what does her ultimate do? Attacks all enemies 1 time, damage 15% attack plus 3.2 max HP, inflicts defense down for 1 turn, fewer the targets the higher the damage, grants all allies excluding Adrena 10% AP. So, looking at what she actually does, she's an interesting character. I am actually more pleased with this character than the main character. Why is this? Because this is a character that I can actually build on. The other one, she's just a need to summon so you can clear the new ritual miracle. And I hate it when game devs are so misguided that they actually create an event simply for you to summon the newest character. Because unless you actually have a fully built poison team that can clear the stages from the new ritual miracle, if you do not have the last character that was just released, you're probably not going to clear this fight. Now, looking at Adrena works really well with characters that only have 2 skills, because once they use their ultimate, they are locked into using their basic skills. That means Adrena's gonna do follow-ups and use her passive. So, taking this into consideration, the characters I would use Adrena with are, for some examples, the followings.
is just for music.
First off,
You're dead wrong.
Donar.
If you've got the
Donar
problem,
has a
speak up.
second skill that doesn't really activate. You don't need to activate it. So he's gonna do his ult, and once he's done with his ult, he's just gonna do basic attacks. His passive is gonna trigger on its own. He works well with Adrena. Biondina is another option as well, because she uses her ult, high cooldown, she goes to basic attacks, and she does a lot of things on her basic attacks. Pretty good damage as well if you have this thing upgraded as well. Works really well. Clara, again, another good option. She can heal and support Adrena while also triggering her passive continuously. Another option, Loki, same thing. Another option is her. Her passive also triggers on its own. You don't actually use it.
Those are my forte.
Hide is again another good option,
Sounds ideal.
because if you fully rezo her, she's gonna combo really well with Hide, because she can also reduce the opponent's HP, like gray it out, just like Hide does with her follow-ups. Let's look at her rezos real quick before I actually go into another
Leave it to me.
explanation regarding the team ups, but this is pretty much how I would play her. I wouldn't use a lot of characters that have full active skills, but mostly characters that have one basic attack, one ultimate, and a passive that you don't need to actively trigger. Those are the kind of characters that I would actually use her with. And I have a feeling she's gonna work really, really well with some of them. Let's look at her rezos real quick. So these here are the rezos. First one says more damage. Second one says when attacking while not in her turn, more damage, which is pretty much what she's gonna do, because she's only gonna take a turn after she attacks 3 times. So by the time you actually do a turn, this is gonna be triggered 3 times, which is really good. Base attack, defense, and whatever. Fourth one says for 18% chance of ignoring resist while attacking. This isn't very good, but it could help with stunning, because the AoE attack does stun, and her ultimate also applies defense down, so this could help trigger that as well. More basic stats, and the last one is pretty much what I said. Covering fire, which is her passive, reduces the target's max HP when a pursuit attack deals damage by 80% of the damage done. Now, considering she does a ton of damage from this, and her passive gives her more damage and critical damage, I'm guessing this is gonna be pretty darn good. Now, this probably will not work on bosses, because we already know some of the bosses can have HP reduction applied to them, but as a filler character, I have a feeling she's gonna be one of the best, because she's not gonna be doing turns unless she needs to. At the same time, she's gonna be continuously adding more damage to your team by doing follow-ups that are guaranteed. At the same time, she's gonna have a pretty high chance to AoE stun the entire damn team, like passively. You don't have to trigger it. So she's really, really good. Now, one of the characters I use most of the times, and I do mean most of the times, is Sun.
This is not the time nor place.
And Sun, which is this guy here,
There's a mission?
Sun
Let's
Wukong.
leave at once.
He has a single target that does damage to 3 opponents. Yeah, deals damage to 1 enemy and then more damage
I won't
to
stop
random
as long
enemies.
as there's
If you
injustice
get
in this
into
world.
R6, he's going to do it to 3 random enemies, which is almost an AoE first basic attack. And he does a lot of follow-ups as well.
I won't
Now,
stop as long as there's
I'm
injustice in
not
this
sure
world.
that Andrina's gonna follow up every one of his own follow-ups, but it's worth looking into. So that's pretty much it for Andrina. And there's the new event here. This is the new event. We got a new trial. Where you just fight a dark version of Lian. It's a pretty stupid event. You gotta kill the minions to dispel the immunity bubble from the opponent. Except for some reason the bubble on the actual Lian lasts 2 turns, but on her it lasts until you actually kill the minions. I don't know, it could be a bug of some sort, or maybe that's how they intended it to be, but it's a pretty dumb mechanic. But anyway, this is pretty much it, and that which you saw, this is pretty much the team that I used. As you can see, a lot of poison needs to be used here, because you gotta kill the minions as fast as you can, so you can do damage to the boss to do more score. And yeah, I'm using the trial Hilda because I don't have that character. I went for Lian when she showed up on the banner, and I'm quite pleased with her so far. There's a mission here. You just get missions. You can max out Adrina here. I really recommend you do. This is one of those characters that if you don't max while on the event, you're probably going to really wish you did. Kind of like the Umbrella Lady that resets the full cooldowns on one of your characters, which is really good for some events, sometimes even must have. There's this store here. These are missions. Here are the shops. This is where you buy the Adrina copies. You can get up to 7, max her out. She's really good. I forgot to mention her captain ability. Gives your team attack 24%. Works everywhere, but like, just use another character that gives 30 or 40 if you have. Second shop is this one. There's a lot of things that you can buy here, but other than the records and the Abilimons and Starimons, there's not a lot you can buy. Like, there's a reset stone, some gold records, a legendary Abilimon, but mostly records. Once you're done with the records, just go for the gold. You're gonna need it to max out your gear. Let's get this. Let's grab all of the records. And do I want the Starimon? I kinda do, but I want the Abilimons more so I can max Adrina's abilities. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can max our abilities out.
If you think my bass is just for music, you're dead wrong.
Woohoo! Wanna see a little fire?
+1, okay, I'm missing something here. That's fine, that's fine. Just want to see abilities. So we got 8 of these. Yeah, sure, let's do it. Wow, maxed out her ultimate. If only that were her passive.
Locked and loaded.
But it's okay. It's okay. Doesn't matter. There you go. We go up all the way. Anyway, they did add the new trial. Now, in regards to the new Ritual Miracle, this is pretty much the team I used. A strong poison-based character that can help you clear alongside her, and a lot of support. You want to poison the boss as much as you can, so if you have another character that can apply poison, such as the latest one, use that one. I don't, so I went with her instead. Like, she's actually pretty good as well. Let me equip something on her first.
Oh, time for some French horn practice.
Is this HP scale? It does have some HP. Sure, whatever, let's just max this out. Actually, no, let's not max this out. Let's go back and see what other pieces I have for Ocean that are 4 stars. Oh, like fully.
I haven't given up
That's
on my
not
dreams.
good. That's not good. I'm guessing this one's pretty good. Attack, crit damage, resist. This one's actually pretty good as well. I don't really feel like sacrificing either one.
I haven't given up on my dreams.
Accuracy, crit rate, attack, speed. That's not good for DPS. And this one has pretty much the same, but it's got attack, speed, crit damage, resist. Confusing indeed.
I haven't given up on my dreams.
Accuracy, defense. Okay, let's re-roll this one, see what we get. Maybe we got some HP on it. That is a lot of defense, but it's not what I want. Let's try again. Okay, we got HP, but it's still not better. Darn it. Okay, I got one more. Let's try one more. Come on, bro. Okay, crit rate, attack, speed, HP, whatever. Let's just go with this one, I guess. And now we replace with this, and we max this out, because why not? There you go. Maybe we can get some HP, because she does need a lot of HP. Like, speed works as well, but I would really like some HP. One more, come on, come on, come on. Come on, man. Okay, maxed out, cool. Speed, I guess that works, it's fine. Should be okay. Okay. Okay, now we finally got something on her. And now I'm gonna go to a friend and get that new character. See how that works out. Maybe we can clear this new difficulty. I don't think I can, but we shall see. He's using a speed set. I'm not even gonna check the stats. I'm just gonna try and beat it and see how this works out. So this is like a foolproof team that I kind of built out of nowhere. It's just that this new boss really does a ton of damage, and he mostly damages you when you don't have any buffs. The secret to not taking the biggest damage is get as many undispellable buffs as you can, because he's not going to remove those, which is pretty much why I have Ahmed here, because Ahmed applies a undispellable buff with the mic. There you go. This is gonna take a lot of time to beat,
In the
but
depths of
hopefully we can
dream,
actually clear it. Like I said, this character is actually really good for this latest event they added. And I don't have her yet. I'm hoping to pull at least one copy because you do need to have her. It's like they built this new boss surrounding this new character, or maybe they built a character surrounding the boss just so you actually summon for this character. Now, unlike other characters that
And get ready
are
for
better at doing something, you almost can't clear the fight unless you have this character. Okay. And to make things worse, the opponents apply a whole lot of debuffs, while at the same time doing a lot of damage. Okay. Bro, can you stop? Bro, don't kill. Okay. Dude, chill. Please chill. Dispel, of course we did. And of course, to be the most annoying prick, they gave the boss a debuff that lowers your healing. Yeah, we're not clearing this. We're definitely not clearing this. And the reason I'm not clearing this is because the guy who I borrowed the new character from has no idea that unless you have your abilities fully maxed out, you need to use a cooldown reset on your character so that they can use their ultimate faster, sooner. Yep, we're definitely not clearing this. Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now, in addition to this, they also added a new Desolate Lens called Shadow Glow. It's for the new sets, allows you to roll higher stats. The formations that others actually used and cleared with is this. Now, I don't have this guy, and I don't have this guy, but I do have the rest. Over here, I don't have this guy, but I do have the rest. Here, I again don't have those two guys. Now for this guy, I have all of them except for her, and she seems to be really important for this particular team. But you can replace this guy with the new 4-star. They do pretty much the same thing. They follow up on your own attacks. So these are pretty much the teams that you would need to use. Now, in terms of the other news that I've noticed, they added a new difficulty on Sonic Rift. It used to be up to 12, now it's up to 16. This is from the previous update, but I failed to mention it, so there you go. You can now farm purple experiments. These are really good for leveling up. It's way easier now to level up a character to 60. You don't have to do a ton of Sonic Miracles, of Sonic Rifts. In addition to this, they also reset the tower, the level 50 tower from here, temporal tower. It was a 0. I cleared it yesterday. Now it's again okay. The infinity tower also got reset. I guess that's pretty much everything they added. Now, in regards to what I noticed in the story, here in the story, there is a new character, Hephaistos. Like, I believe that's a Greek god of smithing, fire, or something like that. That character is crazy good, and I have a feeling that that character is gonna come real soon. Now, it was a shimmer, so you will probably not gonna be able to get that character using the 100 stones, unless they actually added it. Let me check. Go to shimmer. Yeah, they didn't add it yet, so it's probably coming with the next update. Now, this is not an official news, it's just my own thoughts on that new character, but she was really good. Like, she applied some fire on the opponent that every time you do damage dealt more damage based on their actual HP. Like, Javid dealt a lot of damage whenever you dealt damage to the guys that had the pause, but it was scaled on his own attack. Mengpo also has the same issue. She makes damage go from one opponent to another based on how much attack she has. The fire guy with the box on his back also had the same thing. He dealt additional damage to the bosses while they had the debuff on them, based on how much attack he has. Now, this is one of the first characters that I've seen does extra damage to the opponent based on how much HP the opponent has, which is pretty much like an extra poison that triggers for every poison, meaning she's gonna be really good for the new Ritual Miracle when combined with a lot of poison with the new Esper. Now, if I were to pick one, I would probably save my stones to get the new Esper, but since that one's a shimmer, you're probably not going to be able to get away 100 stones anyway. Like, it's interesting, it really is. But that pretty much concludes my thoughts on the latest update. Is the new character really good? Not really, but she's a must-have if you want to clear the new Ritual Miracle, so you gotta get her no matter what. It's the way they built her and the event. However, the new 4-star, I strongly recommend you get her. Even if you already have the laser raccoon, whatever that creature's name is. Even if you already have this guy, Brewster, even if you have him already, get the other one as well. It's a free 4-star, you can max her to full 5 reso. She is going to be crazy. This pretty much concludes everything that I wanted to say about this new update. Get the new character, get the new 4-star, farm the new items, see how they work exactly, because we cannot determine at the moment. I mean, I for one can't really tell what they really do because I don't have enough pieces for all of them. Because I barely cleared 14, to be honest, and that was with the friend Hilda. I honestly don't know if I can actually clear it on my own. I'm probably gonna give it a shot anyway, but it's a really hard fight. And it's not hard because it's challenging, it's hard because it's got a fake difficulty level that scales with, how should I say, with the way the fight is made. They want you to use poison characters for this fight, and unless you have already maxed out your poison team or your poison character, or you just don't have any poison characters, you're screwed. That's the way it is. You either get a new character or you max other poison characters. I've tried using Mengpo with Javid and with other characters that give extra damage, but the boss does so much damage that if you use an actual DPS that scales with attack and not HP, he's going to kill it really easy. Like, even if you have buffs, even if you don't have buffs, he's going to fully dispel you and do some really big numbers. And those minions of his, they respawn, they continuously AoE, and they continuously apply a lot of damage, a lot of debuffs while doing a lot of damage. So it's such an annoying fight. Even if you use characters that can maybe hold your team by healing them, he's going to debuff your healing continuously until you can't heal. And if you can't heal, you can't sustain and you die. And if you can sustain, well, the boss also takes away your crit chance, so you can't do crits, and also deals extra damage when his crit is higher than yours, or your defense is higher than yours. I don't really know. And it's such an annoying event. I don't know why they made it this way, because no matter what else you use, if you don't use poison, you're just not gonna beat it. That's just the way it is. I mean, okay, I guess my opinions end here. I'm not very pleased with this update in regards to the actual boss fights that they added. I think it's unfair how they made the trial have a bubble that lasts way longer than 2 turns, and at the same time the minions that they have do a lot of damage, because they do a lot of damage. So you need to sustain while being able to kill the minions, because if you don't kill the minions you can't do damage to the boss. And the trial character, despite it being decent, it's just not the same with actually having that character.
You're listening to DISLYTE AinsOolGawn.
Gyrate News broadcast for you. Hello guys, I'm DJ Lydio. On May 26th,
I'm going to end this recording here, and I do appreciate if you manage to stick to the end of it. That's pretty much my opinion on the latest update.